PDF open, which is why it's not allowing me to click on that. So let's just kind of open up a document. Here we go. So yeah, under the search, you can do text search, which is any specific word. And then there's visual search, which will allow you to visually search for an object. So I also kind of wanted to mention, yesterday I watched a very good webinar, and it was put on by Bluebeam and by Lillian, and it was based around government. So I think you guys should watch that. It's going to be available on YouTube. So let me just, I want to pull that up for a minute because YouTube, this is really gonna help a lot. So let's see here, getting started with review. It talks about standards for when requesting like PDFs, and there's a series of these webinars. I think there's about 5 of them. That's not what we want to look at. That's not what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, we'll just start here. And this may not be what we wanted to see either. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so digital e-plan review for governments is a really good one. And there's another really good one that just went on yesterday. So it's not going to be posted yet, but it talks about, you know, as being a government office, what the standard for requesting PDFs is. So basically, you know, when you're requesting plans to review, you're going to want to make sure that all of those PDFs were created with a. So basically, what I mean by that is in Bluebeam, if the PDF was scanned, that's going to be very poor quality. So you notice right now how the edges are smooth and clean, and it's not pixelated. And I can zoom all the way into the edge of that line, and it's nice and smooth. And so you're not going to want to accept plans that have been scanned because they're very poor quality. And some of these features that you're going to be using are not going to perform well when the plans are scanned. Okay, we have a question. I had a problem where the plans were submitted in a vertical format, so I changed and saved the view in the horizontal view. But when I tried entering text, it was coming out vertically. I was not able to correct that. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if I understand the question completely. I feel like what you may be asking is, and you can comment here. When you say vertically, are you saying that your page was rotated like this? Is that what you mean by vertical? And I tried entering the text, it came out vertically. Strange. And then, so did you rotate it within this thumbnails tab here?
Yes, I did.
Yes, okay. The text was coming out rotated? Is that
Yeah,
what?
so whenever I'd change the view to a horizontal view, and then when I started to adding any kind of a cloud and any kind of text associated with it, the text was coming up vertically like how it was sent over to us. So I was not able to add the corrections in the text format that I wanted.
That is very strange. That's a strange behavior. I recommend once you rotate all those pages, saving the file and then closing the file and then try reopening it just to kind of put it in place. I've never heard of that happening. So that's a rare thing. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you again.
Okay.
All right, guys, what else you guys got for me?
I'm gonna come back. And James.
Anybody? Anybody? Somebody?
April, that video you mentioned, so if you send me the name of the video or the link, I'll add it in and share it with everybody afterward. That would be a nice follow-up.
Absolutely. The one yesterday that I watched too was great. Let me pull it up real quick and see what that one was called. Okay, so this one was the one that I watched yesterday. I'm going to forward it to you just so you can, this one was really good.
Great. Hello, Ian. I see Ian has arrived. So, Ian, we're fielding any questions that folks might have from follow-up from the 3 days of training a month ago.
And then this one right here. This is a good one too. They're similar, but this is good stuff for you guys to watch, or maybe even one person watch it and then kind of share the feedback.
I will send these links out to everybody after I collect them. April, what kind of questions do you usually find that people have after a month of using Bluebeam?
You know what? To be honest with you, we don't do a lot of like follow-up trainings like this. So I don't really get a lot of questions. I mean, I get some here and there, you know, how to do this again or how do you do that again. But I don't do a lot of follow-up sessions like this. So I did get something here in the chat.
Yeah.
So far, most of the plans we get from applicants are scanned, making it difficult. We cannot create page labels. Yeah, so that's going to be a standard that you're going to have to enforce when you accept plans for plan checking. It's just like the DSA. They will not have a scanned document. You will not be able to submit your plans in a scanned format. Each set is going to need to be clean. I'm gonna show you a set of plans here. And this was a DSA submittal right here, and I've used this for some of my videos that I've been working on, and so a lot of the information is whited out, like the client information. But for example, you know, even Kurt, I recommend even you guys get the DSA submittal paper. It's about 25 pages, and they give you very specific steps for submitting plans to them. You guys need to come up with something similar and enforce that as well. But if you notice here on this plan or on this set of plans, let's look at this title block area right here. One of the things you're going to notice is they have a very specific submittal process. They want the sheet number and this right here, this area of every plan that's submitted, this has to be there in every single sheet. And so the person typically, you know, the architect or engineer that submits the plans will send out the title block, and each trade, notice how the civil, it's the same. Landscaping, it's the same. So they've literally designated this area of the sheet for the title block information. And this makes it very easy for them to do the page relabeling for the title, for the sheet number and the sheet title. And that's just a mandatory thing. So definitely you're going to want to create a standard, and you're going to want to make, give out that documentation just like the DSA does. Now, while we're talking about that, let me pull that up. I don't know if that's something that is possible with your guys' organization. I'm not sure how you guys are doing it now, but like I think it was Lillian. Yes, Lillian. She can't create the page labels because they're just it's not possible on a scanned document. And so that's not going to be a good thing for you guys. Let me show you really quick. Nope, that's not it. I'm not sure if I have that in here. Let's go here. All right, one more spot here. This is an older copy. Sorry, guys. Here we go. This is a copy right here, but I wanted to pull this up to show you. So this goes out right here to all the people submitting. So it's either the architect or the engineer, and it's very step by step. So one of the things they require you to do is one, bookmark all of your documents, and then create page labels. So it's very simple here. It's step by step. You need to audit your bookmarks, make sure there's no broken links, and they tell you exactly what to do step by step. So it's probably something that you guys are going to want to kind of do yourselves. They want all the comments flattened, but also verify that markup recovery is possible. They go through studio sessions. So once they do the plan checking, they will put the documents in a studio session, and they will send the applicants or the people submitting the plans the studio session ID number, and all the plan checkers will have their comments in it. And it talks really specific about how they want their drawings labeled, how they want their naming conventions. This is an older copy right here, but they've added and revised this. So actually on this second sheet here, it'll show you a picture of the exact dimensions that they want that title block. And they want it the same on each page, excuse me, which is, where'd you go? Where'd you go? So here's another set of plans that's very similar. So if you notice, here's that title block area right here. And it's going to be the same on every page. And it's just something that you're going to want to require people do. You're going to want to enforce that they submit plans that are not scanned. Does anybody have any more questions?
I was able to find the DSA submittal document you referenced, so I will share that with the team as well afterwards. As well as the
Great,
video link.
great, that's great. Yeah, so you guys are basically the bosses, you know. So whatever you say goes. You know, if you say you have to give scanned documents, then your customers that are submitting plans, that's what they're going to have to give you guys. So that's the good news. Okay, so to have these submittal standards, does that mean that our applicants would need to have Bluebeam? Yes, it actually. Well, that's a great question. So,
Well, would they be able to
Beauty.
get by? Would they be April? Would they be able to get by with the free version, given that if they're going into our session?
You know what? It is possible for them. Okay, wait till I'm done, sweetie. Okay. It's very possible that they can still submit their plans without Bluebeam. You don't have to go all the way as far as the DSA goes, as far as like they like with the DSA, they require that everybody has at least one seat of Bluebeam before submitting the plans. One, because you got to create bookmarks. Two, you got to create sheet labels, and three, you got to create hyperlinks. So they also, one of the processes in there is that they batch link. Every document gets batch linked. So when the DSA basically opens up your plan, Aubrey, mommy's working, okay? Here. Yeah, they're very cute, okay? Okay, go play, all right? So that when they open up the cover sheet, they can go over here and wherever that list of, I don't even know if it's on this sheet. There we go. This would be completely hyperlinked. So in that process, they could just go over here, click right there, and boom, it's batch linked. Let me show you how that would work. I'm not sure if we did any batch linking in the process of our training. Okay, so this is one of the other things that the DSA requires when people submit their plans. Yes, have your sister get it for you, okay? Thank you. So this is another thing they require. So they want all of their and I just ran that right now without even that document open. So now I guess I should probably open it up, huh? Let's do this. Okay. Oh, it did it anyways. So basically what we just did is we hyperlinked it. So this is another one of the things that they require. They want to be able to open up their plans and click on any page and go right over to it. They want to be able to go into a call out and just click right over to it. So that's another one of the things that they require, customers do. Now, if you don't want to require, you know, the applicants that are submitting plans to have Bluebeam, they can still, you can still make it a standard and require them to submit plans that were printed to PDF from like either a plugin or, you know, going in like most of these people are going to be using Revit and AutoCAD, which is very easy to print from. You just, you know, you go up to the print menu and you print it to PDF rather than printing it to a plotter. So that's something that you want to consider making your applicants do. You absolutely could make them purchase Bluebeam. If you do, make sure they go through Keller Pacific. That was a joke. Um,
April, would they only need to purchase it if they need the enhanced features? Is it correct that if they
yeah, yeah, if you want to require them to do bookmarks like these, so part of the process that they require the DSA, the submitting, is creating these bookmarks
Oh, I
and
see.
everything a thumbnail. So I don't know if Adobe or any other PDF softwares out there do it because I don't use any of those programs anymore. But it's certainly something you guys can look into. I mean, you could at least just make it a standard that all documents need to be scanned, printed from PDF, not scanned. So does anybody have any other questions?
Hey all, this is Sergio. I got a quick question.
Sure.
So, this is just kind of for my own information. So I like to kind of bounce around between Review and Adobe. Sometimes Adobe is just quicker to just get a glance at a PDF.
Okay.
So anyhow, but I use Review for all the advanced stuff. So I sign some documents, put some stamps on it, and then open it up on Acrobat just to double check what I was about to send off to a client or a customer, and they look differently. Have you noticed anything where maybe they just aren't presented well on Adobe? I realize maybe the answer should be to abandon Adobe, but if you had any thoughts on that.
You know, I haven't really noticed. Again, I haven't used Adobe in probably the last 8 years because I've been using Review.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. You know, I recommend just abandoning Adobe altogether. To be honest with you, I would.
I think that's
It might be quicker to sometimes glance at it, but I personally.
you're right.
I have my Review open 24/7. I can't even remember the last time I closed it.
And that's ultimately, I think, what is going to be what I'm going to need to do. As long as I open it up and I don't have to wait for it to load every time and consciously remember not to shut it down, it should be just as fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was all.
Okay.
This is Derek. I'm going to piggyback on that one. I'm using Chrome with SharePoint, and is there a way to, supposedly if you switch your default viewer for PDFs to Review, it should open it, but it's not doing that from SharePoint for me. Are there anything that I could be missing to check on?
Right in here. So I honestly don't use SharePoint a lot, but I know that they work well together. So I would definitely go into the preferences and go into the interface option right here, and under SharePoint options, you can choose how to, I'm not sure even what I'm talking about right now. I don't use SharePoint, but I can gather some more information for you about SharePoint and how to integrate that with Bluebeam. I also do know that in the file access, you can choose to open up files in an Explorer mode, or you can open this up, and I'm not even sure how this functions right here, but let's see. So there's one more setting that I want to show you guys. There's a way to open up files from like Studio. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I gotta find that setting, but yeah, let me get some more data or information for you about the SharePoint options there, and then send that back over to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, anything else?
How's Bluebeam been working for everybody? Are you, if there aren't any questions, does that indicate that it's pretty smooth and easy to use and trouble-free?
Yeah, yeah. You know, this is great. I guess everybody's getting the hang of it, right?
Yeah, it's a good sign.
That means means we had a good training.
Did people of the 11 people that came, excluding April and myself, did you come here with looking for something in particular? So maybe you didn't have a question to ask, but were you hoping that we would cover something? You know, just kind of taking it from a different angle.
I was just looking to maybe get some out of the conversation. And ultimately, I did dump Acrobat.
Yeah, dump it. Get rid of it.
Right.
You don't need it. Yeah, I haven't used it in so long. I don't even know what it does these days.
Looking at the attendees, Ian, you're there. How is your staff? Are your staff using it? And so far, can you give us an idea about how things might be going so far?
Sure, we're using it regularly. You know, the majority of our review is still offsite through consultants, but Lillian and Scott are both using it. As far as the scanned documents, we're seeing a little bit of both. All of our rechecks, because we did transition from paper to digital, have been scanned documents, so that those have been somewhat problematic because we're receiving projects that began in paper form and are now moving towards digital. But a lot of the new submittals I'm seeing are fairly easy to navigate. I'm not going into the depth that they are, so I'm not needing to assign page numbers or anything. I'm doing pretty simple reviews, but I've been real happy with it, and I'm just using it as normal PDF editing software or viewing software. I've made it the default function on the computer, and even running normal documents, I've been happy with it.
Ian, have you found people using Session at all to like collaborate on documents?
No, it's and maybe I'll change my opinion as we continue to use it more, but for the plan review that we're currently doing, collaborative review isn't typically a thing. It's a very linear process where you start at the beginning and go to the end, and you're reviewing one aspect of the drawing. And the idea that I would be collaborating with the applicant throughout the process, it just isn't part of the review process that we're doing at the moment.
Thank you for the feedback.
All right.
Does anybody else have anything for April? We've got this nice opportunity to chat with her. Anything at all?
You guys will think something when we get off the call.
Right. Well, I've collected the video, well, the video name, once I have that, I think you sent me the title, and then I collected two things so far. I've got the link to the video and the DSA submittal process, which I'll share with everyone here afterwards. And I just to let you know about where we're going from here, April, we're going to enhance our EnerGov, which is our business, our management software for managing the requests for permits into the system by the city. We're going to be integrating that with Bluebeam using e-reviews capability in EnerGov. So this collaborative capability will become very important when we go there. So I'm sure that our usage of it will enhance as we go by. We're using it in a pretty straightforward manner now.
Yeah.
I guess if I guess one more chance if there's nothing else. Or April, can you think of any other tips or tricks that you'd like to share with us before we, call it a day?
Not that I could think of right off the top of my head, but if you guys need anything or you do come up with some questions, just don't hesitate to reach out. I can help you guys along the way if you think of something on another day. So it's not like your last opportunity to ask me questions and stuff. So if you need me, just let me know, and we can always do a little go-to assist if you guys need something or find that you need help with something.
Thank you, April. Well, I'll open it up one
you're
last time to see if there's any questions. If not, I guess we'll go ahead and stop for now. April, I hope you don't mind, everybody. I did record this. I'm going to save it to the recording.
Yeah, no problem.
For the others as well. And everybody, the 3 sessions that we did, previous sessions, the full training with April a month ago, all of that is saved away if you want to rewatch it. And this video will as well. But unless there's anything else, April, I think you've delivered. I guess the fact that there are no more questions at this point means that you did a great job teaching us from the beginning. We do appreciate that.
That's great. Great news.
Thank you all. Have a great day. Good weekend.
All right, you guys have a good Friday and a great weekend.
Thank you, April. Take care.
All right, everyone. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.